So we're going to try not to do U-turns. All right. It's just better etiquette. All right. And if you are pulling a U-turn, always look for the widest possible space that will be given in the area. All right, and whatever the customer you are at. Another alternative to U-turn is to basically, back up into a nice wide space, just so you can kind of get turned around. Now, the reason why we don't want to do too many U-turns is that well, it puts bald spots on the tires, and it kind of stretches out the airlines a little bit. Nothing crazy, all right? The reason why I'm teaching this is because it's something that you have to do. Even if your company has a policy of no U-turns, you can't always do that. I go to customers constantly, and you have to pull a U-turn, all right, in order to back into a space. All right, so these are just to try. Now, a lot of time when you are in the middle of your turn, you can literally just look directly at your tires and just try to keep the tires moving. All right, the more the tires move, the less ball spots you're going to give to them. All right, and again, when you are pulling a U-turn, make sure that the back of your truck does not hit the side of the trailer. This is a very common accident during U-turns, because people, they may not have the turning radius to actually make the turn, so they have to like stop, turn the steering wheel all the way to the right, and now they're creating an even harder jackknife, and they end up hitting. So, let's please, all right, when you are pulling a U-turn, be careful. All right, and here's the video. So you need to pull a U-turn. Now, even if the company you work for has a policy of no U-turns, you can't always obey that, because sometimes you have to pull a U-turn. All right, sometimes there's no way out of it. Okay, so now, if you get into an accident during your U-turn, you can't be blaming me. I'm going to be telling you a lot of the stuff of what you need to do and what you need to watch out for. All right. If you don't follow my instructions and you do hit something, don't blame me. All right. Just these are my tips on how I do U-turns, and I do a lot of U-turns, but I would prefer if I could avoid them if necessary. But sometimes you got to do it. Now, first of all, you need to know if you can actually pull a U-turn. Now, I've set up this level in a way that you can pull a U-turn. Now, there's a few things you need to take into consideration first. All right, the swing of your trailer, where your axles are. If your axles are all the way to the back, you can be nice and close, and you don't have to worry about it at all, basically. All right. Now, right now, our axles are at the 40-foot mark, to where the center of the back axle is 40 foot from the kingpin. All right. So it does throw a little bit of a swing. So roughly around here is good. All right. But it gets a little scary when you can't see it. Now, there's a few times when you can pull the U-turn. A lot of people, well, when they're driving forward, they're going to be, they'll turn the steering wheel. And of course, you can only turn the steering wheel so fast. So let's slow down for just a second. Obviously, in mid-turn, they slow down a little bit. So let's just go ahead and turn. Okay, and then they get to this point where they can't go any further. All right, now we need to be on red alert here, okay? Because you need to start worrying about this point right here. All right, the back of your truck hitting the side of the trailer. All right, so now we got to go in reverse, and we're going to crank our steering wheel all the way to the right. We're going to put ourselves at a 90-degree angle. Okay, so 90 degrees right here. Now, another thing there's two things that we need to be worried about: the swing of the trailer, all right, all the way back here, the part that you can't see, and right here. So let's go ahead and we're not going to completely turn all the way to the right, but maybe just a little bit. Of course, we're going to be going nice and slow, because we do not want to be hitting it at all. All right, so looking good. Now, I would recommend around here opening it up a little bit, meaning opening up the angle. All right, so keeping it as wide as possible, maybe doing a little bit turning here and there. Okay, it's just that right now I don't think the swing is going to get any greater than it currently is. All right, so keep it open, keep it open, and keeping it open, keeping it open. Okay, so so that's one way to do the U-turn. All right, so same scenario again, but this time I want you to stop before you pull your U-turn. Okay, now always looking at the swing. All right, now I prefer to stop, especially in a tight area. Crank my steering wheel all the way to the left then, because if you're doing it when you're moving, you're dealing with because basically it starts off doing a U-turn at this angle with the steers per turn this way, and then it gets slowly, gradually all the way to the left. So I'm just going to skip that part, and this allows me to do a tighter turn without having to stop. So let's go ahead and start moving. Again, we're watching our swing. Well, we can't really watch it right now, but I am watching it via here. So we're just going to keep turning, and keep turning and keep turning. And note that I actually don't have to stop at all. Now, when you do get to this point, or this point, whatever, right? You can start. Well, again, I call it opening it up. I'm just going to start getting my steering wheel pointing a little more center. All right. So we're going nice and slowly. Everything looks good here. Now, if you're at this angle right now, you don't have to worry about the swing anymore because it's not going backwards. All right. It's when you're let's say if you were at this angle, like obviously I've made this now. It's when you're at this angle where you're less than 90 degrees, it will start going backwards. Okay. Anywho, so let's go ahead and open it up again as much as we can. Now, again, we're always going to try to avoid the U-turn. Now, always do the widest possible U-turn you can do. Okay, even if it means that it's at the other side of the yard. All right, it's just that it's not always the best idea. Right now, this trailer here is the closest trailer to it. All right, and as you can see, I'm really far away here. This looks like, so it's always the object that you were the closest to. Okay, now this point right here. Let's go back to there for a second. This trailer is definitely the closest. All right, but if I did my U-turn roughly around, if I start my U-turn around here, it'll dip into this area. Okay, so basically starts dipping into where the middle of your trailer is. All right, so let's go hard left. All right, slowly starting to go over to the right. We're looking good, looking very good. Again, right around here, we start opening it up. All right, so now I want to talk about, well, when you stop and do, well, basically 3 or 4 point turns. So if you're in the middle of the yard, right, don't do this. Don't go off to the right, thinking that you're okay, and you're trying to take it nice and wide, and then pull your U-turn, because the trailer's still way over here, all right? You probably won't even be able to make it. If you do, you're at a pretty hard jackknife. And yeah, I'm not making this without hitting the side of my truck. There we go. See that? Hit my side of my truck. All right. What you need to do, get all the way over, and you got to wait for your trailer to get back right behind you next to the trailers. All right, you have to. Otherwise, that last part happens. So we got to keep waiting. It takes a while. It takes a while. Okay. And now we're over. Now we can pull a U-turn. Now, I personally prefer to do my U-turns at the widest area. See this area right here? Okay. You can actually dip into this a little bit if you can and make yourself a little wider. Okay, so it's roughly around here maybe. Again, it's kind of, sometimes it's hard to judge. It allows me to make it wider, get me even closer. But yeah. Anywho, so I did a nice U-turn there. Now let's go ahead and do it with our axles all the way up to the rear. So now we're starting from the middle of the yacht, or the lot. So again, it's going to actually take a little longer for those axles to get all the way to the back. Now, when you are doing your U-turn with your axles all the way to the back, you do need a wider lot. All right. Now it's possible, but so we're going to take advantage of the fact that we don't have any trailer swing, so we can get nice and close. All right. So let's get closer again. Okay, so let's go ahead and stop for a second. All right, let's crank it hard to the left. And let's start turning. Let's zoom in a little more so we can see a little better. So right now, my main concern is right here. Okay? I'm going to be constantly watching that. And of course, the front of my hood. All right? Because it's going to get into a 90 degree here sooner than later. There we go. So we just got to watch it there now. It's so daunting. There we go. Just about. All right. So now we can start opening it up. All right. Very good. Even we didn't hit anything whatsoever, but you got to be very careful. You are seriously, when you are 90 degrees, you got to be on red alert on here. Otherwise, it's just, you're going to damage the truck. Okay. And it's not good. You don't need to get out and look or anything. You just need to be paying attention. So let's do that again. All right. Now I want to do. There's a few times you can do the U-turn. Okay. And there's a few ways of doing it. All right, knowing that you're gonna, like, let's say, knowing you're gonna have to stop or whatever. Well, you could go off to the left. Stop. Go up, back to the right. Stop. And let's just go ahead and do that now. It's gonna, you're gonna be in that jackknife for a lot longer though. So here we go. We're watching the front of our hood. No swing of the trailer. All right, so that's another way to look at it. Now, definitely don't do that with your axles all the way forward when you're so close to the trailer. Because what happens is that you're basically putting yourself in a jackknife too close to the trailers. So let's go ahead and let's just go ahead and start it now, right? So let's say we go forward, and then we we back up, and we go forward. Let's say we do it one more time. So basically, we can even put ourselves in a 90-degree angle all the way back here. All right, let's go ahead and finish that to where we're actually at a 90-degree angle. Okay, so now we're basically going to try to keep that 90-degree angle as much as we can. But watch out! Watch what happens back here. See, the swing is already starting, and it means I'm basically going to hit this trailer here if I keep it going. All right, and boom, hit the trailer. So be careful of that if you ever do happen to stop, and because you need a better angle, that you go into reverse in the opposite direction.